Let me get some water because it's a lot. I paid off over $4,000 in debt and still working on paying off some more. So if you're stuck between paying bills and creating generational wealth, then this video is for you. So let's get right into this video. Hey hello gang, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I am Ruth, your frugal homegirl. And if I like to save my coins, so if you like to save your coins in home, beauty, and lifestyle, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know every time if you see me looking down, I got my tablet. I just don't want to get derailed and stay on the topic at hand, okay? The first thing I did was change my mindset. Like, I was living with scarcity mindset. If you've heard that before, I know you guys have, but scarcity mindset, living like I got coins on the dollar when I may not have coins on the dollar, and I can't live like that. I said I need to start thinking debt free, changing your mindset, manifestation, all that stuff I believe in. And I believe that God will do things if you believe positive things. So I was like, you know what? I need to change my mindset. So I started to think debt free. What do you do? What do you need to do to be debt free? So I started learning about it. I started watching some YouTube videos. I started just learning and wanting to understand more about it. And like, I can get the mentality of what the wealthy mentality is like. What do they think about? Where do they put their money? Where do they invest it? So I just started to change everything, or the way I thought about money, period. Just having a scarcity mindset was a bad habit. Also thinking that I needed to be completely debt free in order for me to learn better money habits, being able to manage my money better. It was just like, no, you need to just start like right now. Don't wait till when you got no money, girl. Just start right now because you need to. I had to stop avoidance, like not looking at the bills, avoiding the calls or the text messages. Sometimes they got clever, honey. I had to stop ignoring and stop pretending and really facing the music and being honest and vulnerable and truthful with myself. When I was like, dang girl, how you racked up like that? Like, short span of time in about a year. That's just a lot. That's not good. It led to bad habit, not sleeping well. It just was not good. And that led to having retail therapy, going out to the stores when I feel mad, upset, sad, feeling away. I go out there thinking I'm just gonna be looking through the stores to see what they have, and being there and just picked up things that I don't need. Spending money I don't probably have budgeted for this. And that is like, no. And then you feel embarrassed after the fact because it's like, dang, now I gotta figure out a way to make that money back, or I can't go to that event and say go to that event because technically I probably spent that money. I went shopping the other day and I know I didn't have it. It was just a whole thing, like, you know, like it's a mess. So those are like habits that I had to really sit down and analyze that were not good and that I have to reevaluate. Make sure you're reevaluating everything and being real with yourself during this process. I had to change being impulsive, being undecisive, and honestly not being intentional. You know what I'm saying? Because not being intentional just caused me to just say, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go out here lollygag, let me emotional shop, let me go ahead and just buy things I don't need. That's not it. So I had to change all of that. Not going outside, cooking in the house, cooking my favorite meals that I would eat out in the house, making sure I know what my wants and my needs are so that I'm not buying things I really don't necessarily need. Just finding ways to cut back. And yeah, we all want to live the luxurious life and be able to spend luxuries on these things, but I had to know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Doing all those things really had saved a lot of money. I know it hurt a little bit because like, oh, I can't go to the events and I wanted to go to that event and I want to do that. When it comes to the events, you got to make sure you have outfits and you want to make sure your hair look good. You got to make sure your nails look good no matter what you do. So that all costs. And if I just say, no, I don't want to go to that, or maybe I'll go to this, or this is a free event that will help me, that helped me a lot. Say, you know what, I'm gonna save my coins here. Restaurants ain't cheap and certain events tickets are not cheap either. That helped me a lot. Staying inside, enjoying my own company, enjoying my own house, doing all of that. So how did I pay off 4K in debt? It was not glamorous. It's very tedious. You need consistency. It's not for the faint of the heart. Listen, I organized my bills. I had chat help me create a check and balance on my budget with my bills, my side hustles, so that I can get it all organized to know how much I can set aside for the bill, and then took the additional payment I would have made to that bill, put them together and paid it off every month. Did it consistently every month. And you know, it may feel away because you're like, oh, I can't go eat with my friends, I can't go do that, I can't go watch that movie. Listen, it's just a time for you to reflect and just take that time to say, you know what, it's just a moment. It's not going to be forever, but I just need to be able to get to restructure and reset some things in my financial journey. And do that, like make a budget for you to go out. If you know that's something that you like to do, make a budget for it so that you can have that money designated so you don't feel like you're missing out on anything, because you don't want to feel that way. I stopped ignoring certain things. I make sure I check up on my due date. Those late fees do add up, and they only forgive you a couple times to give you a reimbursement on those. So I'll say make sure you are up on your due dates. Where I'm at now, so even with the process of paying off your debt, I feel like you should always be knowledgeable on things. I want to be knowledgeable on what's going on right now financially. I try to think like the wealthy people. What are they doing? What are they doing with their money? Where they're investing? What's happening? It's important in my goal to just learn about what the Fortune 500 is, learn about the high yield accounts, the Roth IRAs, and where to invest, what's the stocks, what's the bonds, the Bitcoin. All that stuff is what I'm doing, and subscribing to channels that are really like beneficial that talk about those things. Where should I put my first $1,000 in a stock? What stock should I put it in? Those are things I'm trying to figure out, because it's all learning. Like, this is all knowledge. And if you don't know, you should research. Do your research. I always tell people that when people ask me, talk about, I'll be like, girl, do your research. Because I don't know. I'm not the smartest thing out here. I'm just learning just like you. So take the time to subscribe to podcasts, YouTube videos, certain newsletters, read articles, just to figure out what things are, where you should invest your money, because it's very touchy sometimes, especially with your money. And I know it can be hard to let go of, but you know, we want to build this generational wealth to consistently grow our money. So we have to like part ways with it. So just kind of having balance with paying some off and investing some is the goal. That's how I'm trying to be the positive in building the wealth while I'm trying to pay these bills off. Because girl, you be like, dang, you just taking my money. All my money is gone. What my current plan is, since we're gonna be going on this journey together, y'all, is we're not trying to look rich and famous, because we clearly know that they got a lot of issues, drugs, etc. But we know we want to be financially free. We're not going to be stressing over things that we cannot control, but the things that we can control. We want to make sure we're managing life the right way. So I will say the first step in the plan that we have, or that I had, was to evaluate like that. And it's always going to be a current step of mine. Always reevaluating and budgeting my money, like sitting down, budgeting my money bi-weekly, to be able to see where I can put my coins, like what I can do and what I can't do. I don't want to overextend coins that I really do not have. Also, I'm still investing in my emergency fund, because they say you should have at least 6 months worth of rent put to the side. So I'm currently working on that. The next thing I am working on is, like I said, getting more information about the stocks and the bonds and the SM500s and the IR Roth. I know I had my 401k. I paused that because I was like, I need my money now, okay, to pay my bills. So, okay, but I know I have money in there. So I want to open up IR Roth with that, and then invest in that some more, and then maybe start back up my 401k again, or just continue to invest in my IR Roth. So right now I'm trying to figure out the logistics behind all of it, but that's the part of the research. That's the part of getting with financial advisors, because I'm not a financial advisor, just to see what best works for you and your finances. Because you know what I'm saying, we're just looking towards the future, because that's what we want, is a better, brighter future. What I'm also working on is making sure that I have multiple streams of income. One income is too close to no income, baby. And I learned the hard way plenty of times, being laid off or being fired. It ain't cute, it ain't pretty when you got to be stressed out about the bills and got to run up to the unemployment office and make sure they can give you your 60%. So I'm working on that. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Always is what I'm noticing. So if you're like me, paying off your debts, learning about money, stocks, bonds, and stuff like that, trying to level up your money, then make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload, so that we can grow together, girl, and make this money grow for us and create generational wealth. So yeah, guys, until next time, kisses from me to you. Bye.